Hi, and welcome to Zohar Parashas Noach. I am your host, as always, Rabbi David Katz, and we are in the Mimer. Amarti, lo, I said, and I didn't see God. Mishnah number Kuf Mem Beis, all the way through Gimel, Dalid, Hey, Vav, Zayin. And we finished the Mimer today. And next time we will be in the Mimer of And I Am Bringing a Floodwaters Part 2. And Part 2 is 148, just over until 152. And then I'm establishing my bris with you. And I think we say we're going to go real quick, short little Maimarim all the way to the end. So I think that means we've built our case for Noah. Now, I did a lot of nice preparation this week, and I have to say, it's been an adjustment, right? Moving from all the way from Sfat and the Modin, the weight loss, getting married, moving to Jerusalem, getting the office set up, getting the green screen set up, getting the lighting right, getting the camera right. I've become very anti-chair sitting. Now I prepare on a mat laying down on my knees, just because I like the floor these days. And just getting everything tweaked, it's been a journey. And I'm glad to say I'm finally getting in my rhythm. Just, like a golfer, when he gets 40 years old, he's got to reinvent his golf swing. No problem with him per se. He just got old and he's got to readjust. I'm not 30 years old anymore, and I don't like to sit in a chair at a stender anymore. And I had to rediscover myself in terms of how I prepare married life, Jerusalem, and not Modin and not Sfat. So I'm getting there. And I really like where I'm at. So with that said, I prepared this kind of like the old days, the way I used to prepare, meditating, reading, doing many mishnahs at once. It's been kind of like preparing on the run for the last, I think, ever since the weight loss started. So anyways, things have settled down. I like my preparation, and I think my family is now more calm, and they're letting me prepare more. And Abigail's in her studio filming her art programs right now, and the kids are doing their thing. So we've all kind of gone up a rung on the ladder, like a spiral. So it's good news. Now I'm going to explain this more from myself and out of the flow and the arrangement of the Zohar, because I did prepare it. It's all kind of sticking in my head. And we've been doing retranslate guests for a long time. We still do a lot of retranslate guests, but I just have it in my head, and I want to give it over. Okay? I don't know how nice it'll sound on the eardrums, but I do have it in my head, and I want to give it over. So we spoke, we're going to go back in time, about the sacrifices that benefit the left. Okay? And then we said that when the sacrifices were gone, prayer was instituted as the highest level of Kabbalah, which the sacrifices were supposed to be. The temple's destroyed, davening takes over, and the highest level of Kabbalah, the highest mochin, is going to come from davening, replacing the sacrifices. And we call this level of davening and of sacrifices and Kohen Levi Israel Adam, as opposed to Behema, animal. So there is an Adamic structure in the Torah, like underneath the sacrificial system. Basically, we can call it the highest level of authentic, I would call it Lurianic Kabbalah. Ati Gyoimin, the highest levels of Keter, which ironically we could say coronavirus these days is pretty big, could be world changing in terms of biblical proportions, and corona means Keter, crown, interestingly enough. Is that what it is? I don't know. We'll see. It's got the potential. So we speak about the highest level of Kabbalah. And then we say that the highest level of Kabbalah, the mochin, has to come all the way down to where it passes through the body, and the Goyim want the body, and the Jews want the mochin, but the mochin's got to go through the body into the skin, the fleshy flesh. And the Goyim don't want to go into the skin, they want the body and not the head. So when there's a conflict between the body and the head, it's resolved when the head goes deep into the skin, drawing the body into the skin. Then from there, we went to I Am Bringing a Flood, part 1. Next week we'll do part 2. And we're talking about Kabbalistically making a body for the soul. Okay? Zil. A body for the soul. A spiritual, mechanic body for the soul. Then we go into I spoke and I didn't see God. And there's a revelation of Adam, 180-degree roll, right? Revelation of Yeshu on the backside. And this week we're going to understand what is the revelation of Adam. On the front side. Obviously, again, backside 180 roll is called revelation of Yeshu. And the tzaddikim are with Adam when they are returners, repentanters of the of Torah. When they repent, they will have revelation of God, and they will be dwelling with Adam in Gan Eden as people who properly repented. And we ended last week by saying it's a little bit odd. Why Adam? This revelation of God, but yet a revelation of Adam. And of course, we stopped midstream, and we're going to answer that now. So we got to 141, and now we're on 142. The challenge is giving all this over the way I want to. I would love to just, I don't know, I got it in my head. This mimer brings together the previous mimarim of the skin and the body, the flesh of the body and the body. And the aspect of Adam and the righteous. So I will do a little bit of retranslate guess, and I will use my notes. And I'll do a lot of paraphrasing for brevity and time. Come and see what's written. I spoke and I didn't see God. And we're asking, why can't you see God? And the answer is because the end of the pasuk, Isaiah 38:11, feel free to look it up, is that God is in the land of the living. Again, read Isaiah 38:11. This is going to be one of our major, it's the theme of the whole thing. The Zohar is unpacking that theme. So let's go ahead and read it together. Let's not be lazy. Because if you don't know the verse, you're not going to get it. The Zohar assumes you know it. I had said I will not see God. God is in the land of the living. I will not again behold a man with the inhabitants of the earth. So the end of the pasuk contradicts the first part. Come and see that the souls go up to a place of clear life. And they benefit there from the Zohar, the splendor of like clear revelation light. Like just brilliant light that allows you to see the truth. Imagine watching anything in life, and you are able to see the purest life element to it. No klippa, none of your own dimyon imagination. You see whatever's really going down, you see it. And the light is from a very high place of all the places. Again, we're talking about the highest part of the mocha that comes into the skin. Atik yoimin, keter. All these things are building. And the neshama can see there. But it's only when the neshama is garmented with the Zohar of another garment. And I'm going to say that the brilliance of another garment. By the way, I'm going to cheat and tell you how that garment looks like at the end. Because I was actually writing this in my notes. I know what this is. I think it's called Chalukah the Rabbanan, the garment of the rabbis. And by the way, when we get to the end of the mimer, in 147, they do say that. This is called Chalukah the Rabbanan. So I knew the Indian. So the Chalukah the Rabbanan is spiritual mentality that your neshama is wrapped up in, that it can perceive the divine. And it's called the brilliance of that garment. I'm going to say take brilliance literally. The Zohar is the Masorah, the tradition of the Meichenic brilliance of Chalukah D'Rabbanan, that when we understand true Kabbalah, spiritual Kabbalah, the tradition of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai all the way down, this book, if you really understood it and study it and meditate on it, it is the thing that opens your mind, that you can wrap your soul in the Chalukah D'Rabbanan and you can perceive God theoretically on the level of Neshama and Gan Eden. Obviously, that'll be a very high level, and that's what comes through the highest level of davening, which replaces the offerings, etc., etc. And you're able to come close to see the light. And this is when Zeranpin and Nukva are lifted up in garment Abba and Ima, that the light there is called alive. Then Zeranpin is called Etzachayim, and Nukva is called the clear vision. Okay? It's when the whole world is lifted up. Your mind is lifted up. Everything's lifted up. This world becomes a world of truth. Theoretically, when you die, and you're righteous when you die, you get that level. You get the Chalukah D'Rabbanan. The goal is to get there in this world. And that's what King David was after. That's what Moses was after. That's the end of 42. 43. Let me just see if I have any more notes on that. What I want to say also is I was learning the Maharal on Shabbos, and the pshat of the Chumash is rabbinic pshat, which is lafi pshuto. And the sod, the pshat is based on the sod. So when we read the Torah of Moses, it's written with the style of rabbinic wisdom in the pshat form of rabbinic pshat, even though there is a Kabbalistic pshat based on the Kabbalistic sod. And Parashas Noach, according to the Zohar, looks like it is the Kabbalistic pshat pshuto, meaning, was there a boat? Was there a flood? All of our questions, it was written by Moses with rabbinic Kabbalistic wisdom. It is the Kabbalistic pshuto. And the Vilna Gaon even says the Sfirot is Kabbalah lefi pshuto. You look at an image of the tree of life, the 10 Sfirot, and you study text to get spiritual truth. It's called lefi pshuto in the Kabbalistic sense. Parashas Noach is that in the Chumash. There might not be a universal natural pshat. It's rabbinic pshat pshuto anyways, and Parashas Noach was written with a Kabbalistic flavor. And that's why the Zohar understands it as Kabbalistic, because we always look at the Torah through rabbinic wisdom anyways. 43. The secret of the matter is that the neshama is given a garment to sustain itself in this world, which is called the body. Just like so, the neshama is given the Zohar Elyon to maintain itself in Olam Haba. Meaning, when you die, whatever this book of Zohar is giving you a spiritual lens of, you will be given that when you shed this body and you ascend to the world of truth, the world of Olam Haba. And you'll look with a clear lens, which means your masculine trait will become the land of the living, Zeranpin. Your female will become the clear vision. And this idea of I said but I didn't see God, the kavanah is in the intermediate, in these tikkunim, that you're given the Zohar above, and you have a clear vision of Malchus in the land of the living. When you have undergone those changes, you will perceive the divine. 44. Moshe Rabbeinu wasn't able to access the vision that he saw until he got into this other garment, which would be master of the Zohar, master of true Kabbalistic vision. In other words, who could have written Parashas Noach? Moshe Rabbeinu. You can say that Moshe had the merit to write Parashas Noach in the Kabbalistic wisdom because Moses saw Zohar reality. And this is what it means that Moses came to the cloud. Every time it says the cloud, that's really meaning that Moses put on his Chalukah D'Rabbanan and he was able to see life in its purest form, which is the Mochin, Zeranpin, and Nukva. And all of this is about how we come to revelation of God. This whole idea, the prayer, this karbanos, keter, everything we're talking about is how do I get through my earthly body and into my spiritual garment so I can perceive God? Let's not forget that. All right, 44. We just did 45. And this is what it means that the righteous, neshamas, in the world of truth are garmented like that truth. Meaning, let's make a really stupid analogy. In the real world, the real spiritual world, everybody plays frisbee. In this world, we don't see it. We see what you see. Financial crisis, coronavirus crisis, getting a job, making money, raising your family, buying a pair of shoes, sleeping in a bed, resting on a couch, daily boring life. If you would see the truth, like me, you would see everyone playing frisbee, right? Whatever the real world, the real life, right? When you're really eating, you're really doing something more divine. Maybe it's repairing the sparks of creation. I don't know. Whatever that is, there is that thing going on. There's a way to perceive it. The righteous perceive that. And that's what is going on in the world of truth. So when you die and go to the world of truth, you will be seeing the real reality. The goal is to see that reality here. And then you're prepared to look with the light shining with the land of the living, rather than the world that we live in called the land of the dead. And this is the idea that in Noah's generation, the end of all flesh came before me. The revelation of God died. They became the land of the dead, not the land of the living. Zohar, Kabbalistic, rabbinic wisdom died. It fizzled out. Only Noah had it. Therefore, Noah merited to have the Kabbalistic vision, the Zohar, in his name. And Moses was on that level to grab it and write it and encapsulate it. Noah maintained the tradition of the revelation of God, which somehow relates to Adam, which we'll say in a minute. And the rest of the generation died. They lost the ability to connect to God. They lost the Kabbalistic truth, lost the Chalukah D'Rabbanan. They lost the clear vision. So Chizkiyahu thought, because he's the one that said, I spoke, but I didn't see God. He thought he wasn't meriting that light to see. And because of the river comes out from Gan Eden, and it didn't give any birth to him. Because anybody that's not involved in fruitful and multiply, they blemish the river that comes from Gan Eden, or from Eden, which is the Yesod of Zeranpin. And we say that if you saw what the Kruvim were doing on the ark, it would blow your mind. And we know that they're intimate, whatever that means. Now, when you're intimate, you're probably acting like an animal because you're not in the world of truth. Real intimacy, you've never seen it. So, A, it would probably look weird to you. B, you wouldn't recognize it anyways. Because when we do Puravu, fruitful and multiply, we do it like animals. Because we're trying to rid our animal soul, and we're trying to become this divine, behold God. And the Kruvim are on that level representing that. But anybody that successfully does, let's say, fruitful and multiply with the Chalukah D'Rabbanan, meaning they act as if they are in the upper world in this world, divine union, whether it's in everything, not just literal union, but in everything. But it has to come down to literal union too. It's a mitzvah to get married. It's a mitzvah to have kids. And if you're not doing the Torah in this world, you're only saying, I shun this world. I want only the higher world. You must bring that revelation down into the goof, the body, the meat, the flesh, and into the skin. And we know the sexual part is in the skin literally. But it can't be animalistic and base and dull like Noah's generation. So whatever you think it is, it isn't. But yet, if you're going to get the revelation, it must come down into this world. And the ultimate level is fruitful, multiply, and having children. And that's why the verse in Isaiah says, I will no longer gaze at man, or Adam. That's Adam Arishon. Admiration sits in Gan Eden, in the gates of Gan Eden, receiving the souls of the righteous that are coming to Gan Eden. And Hezekiah thought he didn't merit to gaze at Adam in the gates of Gan Eden. And this is the thing. It's a conundrum. We die and we get Zohar vision. We go to Gan Eden. We have revelation of God, and we see Adam in Gan Eden. In this world, you would think to see Adam as a guy. When you stop seeing and wanting to see Adam in this world, you will no longer see, as the pasuk says, you won't see Adam. And when you gain the Zohar vision and you have revelation of God, then you will get the revelation of Adam sitting in the gates of Gan Eden. So part of the revelation of God is in your plight of man. You're looking like a virus to reiterate yourself everywhere. What do viruses do? They just reiterate themselves everywhere. So you're saying, I am Adam, I am Adam, I am Zeranpin, I am Zeranpin. Look at the church. We are Jesus, we are Jesus. It's all backside. And you're just putting out this Adamic code, trying to grab it with Kabbalah, but you're putting it in the garments of this world, which will usually come to immorality and illicit union in this world. Because there must be holy union in this world to have any hope of getting revelation of God and Adam and Gan Eden. Not for the sake of the kinky part, because fruitful multiply is the first mitzvah of the Torah. If you're not doing all things physical, eating, drinking, sleeping, if you're not bringing that element of life into this world and making it the land of the living and stopping the behemoth being real Adam, it must do that. But if as long as you're not doing that, you're going to call Adam behemoth. Think about that. You're going to think that Adam is the animal, probably the animal is Adam. So when you stop that, you would get a revelation of what the animals are, what Adam is, and God running the show. So there's got to be a true revelation of Adam coming from yourself, because you are an iteration of Zeranpin yourself and Adam yourself. And therefore you would see yourself the right way, because your neshama is garmented in the Chalukah Rabban, the garment of the rabbis. The true spiritual vision, the true Kabbalah, the true vision of everything. Then we get to the 146. Why did Hezekiah think all of that? Because the Navi said, you are dead in this world. You're like the people of Noah's generation. You view Adam as an animal. You view relations as an animal. You don't see God. And he wasn't viewing it in the world of truth. Because anyone that doesn't have kids or produce bunim in this world, it's like he's passed from this world and he's divorced of all these things. Now, think about it. We know the Mazel Sugya is Chaim Banim Mazon. Mazon is the Shefa coming down from the upper world. Banim is that channel. Chaim is plugging it into this world. Chizkiyahu didn't get the Mazel Sugya. Noah didn't get the Mazel Sugya. Abraham got the Mazel Sugya. Abraham had sons. And the sons of Abraham have Avot. That's the difference between Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and Shem, and Noah. The Mazel Sugya, to produce Banim, A, that Banim then have the merit of the fathers, B. Hezekiah says, I have Avot, but I am the son. He doesn't produce Banim. He says, I have Avot. I am the son. Abraham has sons, so that A, he has sons, and that his sons say, we are the son, we have a father, and I have a son. And then Jacob says, I am the son, I have a son, and I am a father. And that's Judaism. I have Reuben, I am a father. I am the son of Laban, my father. I am a son. So you see, I am a father, I am a son, and I am a son, and I have sons. And then my sons are a son and have sons in our father. And it iterates. Noah and Shem didn't do that for whatever reason. In Noah's generation, the revelation was dead. In Abraham's generation, there was the land of the living. And to close it out, this garment that we say is called Chalukah D'Rabbanan. That it's the garment in the world of truth. Praiseworthy is the portion of the tzaddikim that God hides for them many and much good and delights and desires and pleasant things to the world of truth. On them it is written, it's a verse from Isaiah 64:3. People have never heard, never observed. No eye had ever seen a God except for you that acted for those who await him. That's deep. Again, people have never heard. The dead people with no revelation of God. Never observed, no eye had ever seen a God except for you. You are God. That's the revelation that acted for those who await him. When you await God, wait a second. No eye had ever seen a God except for you that acted for those, right. God will act for you when you await him. And ironically, it's when you stop animalizing the Adam in you, you will get a revelation of Adam. When you wait for that revelation, then you are being Adam in this world. Therefore you're no longer looking for Adam, and when you're not looking for Adam, you can begin to look for God. And again, it's a conundrum because we are looking for the revelation of God in a world where there is no revelation of God. We're looking for Adam when we should be looking for God. We see Adam up above, but yet we give the revelation down below, when the life above is the essence of life in this world, when we stop looking at this world as animalistic. So it's a Kabbalistic view of this world, but when you just call the world Kabbalistic without the mitzvahs garmenting this world, that's fake Kabbalah. It must be a unified world. The higher world and the lower world, our world and the spiritual world, are one. There is fruitful multiply literally above, and there is below. We call it animalistic here. Up there is something else. When we do what is going on up there with the kavanah and the brilliance of the Zohar down here, that's when it all comes together. Bringing the light from above into this world, revelation of God, and you will see revelation of Adam and yourself sitting with Adam in the gates of Gan Eden as a true repenter. It's crazy. It's so many zigzag levels. And you see, if I only view this world Kabbalistically, 4D, then I'm not right. If I'm strictly going after Adam in this world, I'm not right. If I call Adam God, God forbid, I'm not right. So this teaching is the ultimate 180-degree roll for all things in Kabbalah and mysticism. In Zohar and Noach, the mentality, it's an incredible piece. And it's got to come from the head, through the body, the vessel, and the flesh, and through the skin. And through that skin, we perform the mitzvot that are very much this world, that then have the ability to be seen with the Chalukah D'Rabbanan, the garment. Your skin will become the garment of the Rabbanan, that you can visualize the true way of being as if we are in Gan Eden down here. Thank you very much. I hope you've enjoyed this week's class. Next week will be part 2 of I Am Bringing the Floodwaters. So I think we are now starting to tie all this together. I think now we understand the boat, the flood, the waters, the death, this, that. It's starting to come together very nicely. And thank God. All right, so that's all for now. Tomorrow will be our new series we're doing on Talmudic mechanics in this world through coronavirus. How to learn Iker terms and understand new terms and concepts by reading and opening our eyes. And on Thursday nights, we do Limb of a Living Animal and how the philosophy of that halakha expands on a health conscious ger. Thank you very much. I hope you've enjoyed. See you the rest of the week, and thank God, another mimer completed. Shkoyach.